Hey, good morning. Welcome to the morning brief. Today is Thursday, August 29th, the next to last day of the trading of August. So, what's going on? Well, first, I want to talk about yesterday's Stock Traders Almanac, which showed a 90.5% chance the market would go up. Now, obviously, that did not work, and it was wrong. Now, it also sort of opens a giant, a quandary of what's going on. Well, remember that an almanac gives us history. It gives us history of what's happened in the past. Now, while a 90.5% is out of character for even the Stock Traders Almanac, it shows that historics may not repeat themselves, and yet historics do repeat themselves. So, how do you trade with this kind of information? Well, it just tells me that there was a historical bias to the upside for yesterday, and that did not happen. And that's okay. We're looking for edges everywhere we can find them, and the Stock Traders Almanac gives us a historical advantage to what happened on this day in the past. We'll talk about today's number at the very, very end. But not a reason to throw it out, but just a reason to realize that all information, good or bad, may or may not help us out. We just are trying to get a bias or an idea of what to expect. Whereas what we really need to do is pay attention to what we see, not what we think. So there you go. News today, 8:30, we had preliminary GDP quarter over quarter, 3%. That is a great number. Now, this is bothersome in my mind because the Fed does not want to goose the economy, and a 3% growth rate is perfectly fine. So lowering interest rates may not be in the cards based on GDP. Unemployment claims were also as expected and are decent numbers, which means that the employment situation is still very strong. Again, not a reason to lower interest rates. Preliminary GDP price index was up. This is also saying that maybe we've got still have inflation in in the works, right? So if prices are going up more than expected, again, not a reason to lower interest rates. This goes back to my case that even though they're talking a big game about lowering interest rates in September, they probably shouldn't. And because it's a election year, they also should do nothing until after the election in order to not show any kind of bias politically. Trades goods balance was negative. This is the amount of goods that are traded from the United States to other countries. And of course, the U.S. has been and will continue to be a net taker of outside goods versus the stuff we are putting out. So we are importing more than we are exporting. Preliminary wholesale inventories came in as expected. Nothing to worry about there. At 10 o'clock, we have pending home sales. Is a orange item, so be aware of that. 10:30, natural gas storage. 12 o'clock, we have the Swiss National Bank chairman speaking. Again, that's an orange item, doesn't really affect the U.S. And other Europeans speaking. 3:30, we have FOMC member Bostic speaking. Again, yellow item, nothing to worry about there. So that's our news for today. Looking at the chart, yesterday was a down day. Obviously, we talked about that. A lot of anxiety over NVIDIA's earnings. NVIDIA's earnings came in above expectations, but it was a buy the rumors, sell the news situation, and they did. The market was down, and then they went, oh, but wait a minute, the biggest chip company in the world is going to continue to kick ass, and you get it. Yeah, they ignore it and continue to go up. So interesting how you have a switch in sentiment there based on one company. Volume was slightly up comparative to this low, pathetic move we've had. Again, that was more on, I think, worry about NVIDIA than it was anything else. Again, this entire move has not been supported. Makes me believe that we will come back down eventually. However, never know what the situation is going to be. Not what you think, what you see. Where we on inventory? So a down day, inventory was up. So this is a lot of speculation coming in at the end of the market based upon the NVIDIA situation. That's what I think that was. Divergence here, bottom fishing, thinking that no matter what NVIDIA's earnings were, the market's going to go up. And that actually was a pretty good premise. So somebody was smart there buying the dip. We'll have to see how that trade plays out. I don't like it when we have divergence between them. Looking at the overnight action, wow, we had major overnight action from 55.61 all the way to 56.35. That's about 71 points overnight action. So that's a lot of volatility. That's way above average. Average is about 20 to 22. Where could we go? Well, 56.50. 56.70, 56.80, and 5,700 is, to me, a big line in the sand. That being said, on the downside, 5,600. We did have a close yesterday below that. I think we did. Maybe we didn't. No, we did not. We were above that. We had a close at 4 o'clock. Where's our 4 o'clock close? Right there, above 5,400. So that was... they held off. Overnight action was below 5,600. I still think 5,600 is the number. We get below that, it gets really ugly. Below this level here, 55.76, more bad. 55.54, 55.26, 55.10. It gets ugly below 5,600, honestly. So those are your numbers for today. Stock Trader's Almanac today says 42.9. Now, most of the time, the Stock Trader's Almanac is going to be somewhere between 47 and 53. Why? Because of the law of large numbers. The more data we have, the more it's going to be close to a 50%, right? It's just like the 50, it's up or down, it's up or down. And that would not surprise me. It's these outliers that really are interesting, like yesterday, which turned out to not be true. Today, 42.9, a little bit below those averages, a slight bearish oversee, 42.9. That's all we've got today. Hope you have a great day. Remember, happy trading. See ya. Hey, thanks for watching the morning brief. Check out my website for more information, oneononetrading.com. Take a look at the Troy levels, a trade location finder for the futures markets. Help you find those levels of support and resistance that are just so hard to find. I also do personal coaching and mentorships. So go ahead and take a look at my website, oneononetrading.com. Thanks.